Okay, then this tutorial is about creating a third-person perspective project in Unreal Engine 4, and we're going to start from the beginning and go through it step by step. So I pick blueprints, third-person template, no starter content, maximum quality in the desktop for the platform. So let's call this the demo project and wait for it to finish creation. Now we're going to use the mixamo animation pack characters and the anim starter pack animations to drive those characters around, just so everyone has the same meshes and can follow along. Later on, well, the end goal is to bring in your own characters and your own custom animations. So in later series of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. For now, we want to bring in these characters. So go down here and add to the project, and it's not listed here because when you create a new project, you have to restart this. So I'm just going to close that and restart it, and then we can bring in our characters once this is up. Okay, we don't need this. And go down to the library again. Okay, mixamo animation pack, projects, demo, add to project. And it's done, and add the animations to the demo project as well, and that's done too, and then we don't need this anymore. Okay, so these are the two folders added to the project, the mixamo anim pack and the anim starter pack, and we're going to retarget these animations to one of these characters. So let's say we begin with Adam. I prefer to create a new folder for it and not work in the mixamo anim folder, so I'm just going to make Adam, and inside Adam I want to make a new folder for my blueprints. Okay, so let's just do a quick run, see what we have currently. Okay, this is the Blue Man third person template default settings. It's running on the default blueprint. Okay, I just want you to notice the way he jumps, okay? Up and down, up and down. So we want to change this to the Adam character. Go into game mode and my game character to mixamo Adam. When you play this, you'll see that his actions, his speed of motion, and everything in the way he jumps is entirely different, right? Because this this list is a list of blueprints. So we were running my character, and then we chose the mixamo Adam blueprint. So all of the nodes are different, all of the behavior is different, the way it interacts with the environment is entirely different. So we're not going to use either of these, we're going to make our own. In fact, well, I guess we are going to use the my character blueprint, but we're going to change it so it no longer represents just the blue man. Okay, the way I want to set this up is that I want the blueprint to be reusable for any of my future characters, or for most of them, whatever are like a similar skeletal mesh. So the way I do this is in Adam, I'll go in blueprints and I'll create a new blueprint, and rather than clicking on this, I will go here and say my character blueprint. This is the default template blueprint, okay? The one that's driving the blue man. So I'm going to select this. And what this gives me is, I'll just rename this to Adam Blueprint. And if I open this up in the construction script, the event graph is completely empty, and the construction script just says to call the parent construction script. Okay, so this blueprint will be calling the parent blueprint. That is this one in the character folder. No, in the blueprints folder, sorry. This file. Okay, so we're going to open this, and you can see that these are the basic nodes that drive the Blue Man, and these are the basic nodes that will be driving the Atom character from now on. Even though the Atom character has its own blueprint, it's calling these nodes because this is the parent blueprint. And in the construction script, you can see that it has just the one node and it's empty. Okay, few changes we have to make here. We're going to go into the components, select on mesh, and we're going to delete this. Select the skeletal mesh and clear it. So save that, compile this. So now this blueprint has no mesh. Okay, it has no mesh, and the mesh will be provided by the child blueprints. So select on Atom, Components, Mesh, and okay, before we do that, I want to move the mesh out of the original folders into our folder. So I'm going to make a few more, sorry about that, a few more folders just to give some structure to our project. So I'm going to start with animations. We already have a blueprint folder, one for miscellaneous and one for skeleton. Okay, I'm going to move the original files from this folder into our folder. Move here. Go do same with these two. Okay, so what I've brought in here is the mixamo atom skeletal mesh, the physics asset, and the skeleton. Okay, I generally leave the skeletal mesh at the root of my character folder, move the physics asset to miscellaneous, and move the skeleton to the skeleton folder. Okay, now this skeleton file, whenever you import animations, let's say you make some animations in a program like Blender or Maya, then when you import them, they're going to end up wherever this file is. So if I import animations, they're going to end up in this folder. So that's why I keep this skeleton file in a separate folder, because I don't want the imported animations mixing up with all my other stuff. This file basically is the skeletal mesh. It basically is your character, and I didn't bring in the blueprint because we're making our own, and it's right here in the blueprint folder. Okay, so clicking on this, we have to add a mesh here. So we're going to select the atom mesh, and we also need an blueprint. So we're going to make that next. Animation blueprint, and anim instance, and from here we're going to select the atom skeleton. Atom skeleton and anim instance. So make sure that both of these things are selected. Sometimes when you select here, it deselects whatever was up here. So click OK, and rename this to the atom blueprint. Okay, so right now it's empty, and we have these animations available to us. That's the mesh and that's the skeleton. Okay, now you see you have these animations already available because we based our anim blueprint on the atom skeleton, and it basically whatever animations are tied to the skeleton. So whatever skeleton you use, you will automatically get all of its animations. We want to add a few more animations. Basically, what we're going to do is, this is the anim starter pack that we added, and these are the animations, the basic animations for Blue Man that come with all projects. Whenever you start one, you automatically get these for free. Now, the way we do retargeting is we'll go to the skeleton, mixamo atom skeleton file, right click on that, and well, let's just open it up and go to the skeleton tab and click on retarget manager. Then select the humanoid rig, and now this is a kind of an annoying process, but it just has to be done. So you're going to update these one by one. We don't have a root. We just go start with hips. Spine 1 is spine, spine 2 is spine 1, and spine 3 is spine 2. Clavicle will be the left shoulder, upper arm, will be the left arm, lower arm will be the forearm, hand is hand, similarly for the right shoulder, right arm, forearm, right hand, and just one by one go through all of these. Neck, head, okay, so that should be, this is the basic skeleton, and then you click on show advanced and you have to go through all of these one by one too. So index. This might seem like a very long list, and well, I guess it is kind of long, but it doesn't really take, well, it only takes a few minutes, so you just have to do this once. I'm not going to make you watch all of that, so here I have already filled out all of the bones, which bone matches which other. So I'm going to scroll down this list and you can just take a look at it if you like. So it's really simple. The index fingers will match. Basically, it's just the same name, left hand pinky and pinky 03. And the thumb, the lower arm, upper arm, index for the right hand, and the right arm, left leg, toe base, and we don't have any IKs, so all of the IKs are set to none. And one other thing you might want to take note of is that for the index bones, you will find there are 4 of them on the mixamo characters. For all of the fingers, there are 4 bones, but all of the number 4s on every finger, they don't have any weights attached to them, so they're not used anyway, and you can just ignore them. And the rest of the bones are fairly easy to discern. The calf on the humanoid rig is basically the lower part of the leg, and below the knees, and the thigh is of course above the knees. So left up leg and left toe base for the ball of the feet. And like I said, we don't have any IKs. So show base to, well, these are all really simple, and we do not have a root. So when you're done filling that out, just save pose and you can close that. Now if you're wondering how do you know which bone is where, so well, for one thing, you can look at the character itself, and if you go into the skeleton tab and you click on basically the root bone, or the bone that all other bones are children of, it'll highlight the entire skeleton. And if you want to select on one of the child bones, it'll highlight that bone and bones attached to it. So you can figure out where all of these bones are. And if you want to know what the humanoid rig looks like, well, basically I just look at the blue man, because he has it's basically the same structure. So if I go to character and then on the skeletal mesh, click on that, put that up, go to skeleton tab and click on root. Okay, the only difference is that for Unreal Engine 4 characters, the root is between the feet. For mixamo characters, there is no root, and you start directly at the pelvis area. So basically, you can look at here, and you can see where all of the bones are. There's a left clavicle, so that matches with the left shoulder for the mixamo characters, and so on and so forth. So you can look at that if you want to. So once you have saved the pose, you go to the Anim Starter Pack and select all of them. Okay, so you select all of them. You don't want to select the showcase level, and you don't want to select the character folder. Okay, right click and it will give you a warning, so just say yes. Okay, you have to do it 2 times. So again, let me just show you again. Right click and then retarget anim assets, and then duplicate anim assets and retarget. Okay, so here you will see, oh, it's not available here. Okay, basically the reason is that you have to also retarget this to the humanoid rig. So in the anim starter pack, go into character, then go to, well, load this skeletal mesh, and go skeleton, and then again retarget manager. Select the humanoid rig again, and this time it will automatically give you all of the bones correctly, automatically, because it's basically the same skeleton. Show advanced to make sure you're capturing everything, and then just save the pose. Okay, now you close that again, anim starter pack. Select one, Control A to select everything, Control click to deselect, scroll down and deselect the showcase level, and then right click, duplicate anim assets and retarget. So now it's listing the mixamo atom skeleton. Okay, so what's happening here is you take one character and retarget it to the humanoid rig, and you take another character and retarget that to the humanoid rig. So the humanoid rig acts as sort of an interchange, or sort of as a common skeleton to make sense of which bone matches which bone on the 2 different skeletons. So in this case, the blue man rig is basically the humanoid rig, so we didn't have to go bone by bone. So for all of the other characters, for the mixamo ones, for the custom ones that we will bring in later, we'll have to do this one time. And we select this atom skeleton, and okay, make sure to have a similar pose, right? So both of these characters are in the T pose, and if you recall, when we were doing the retargeting, and in fact I'll just show you just in case. Click on that, retarget manager. Okay, you click here to view the pose, and basically this is the pose that you're looking at. Okay, and then you can change that, and if you basically you can select on any of these bones and use any of these controls to change the pose. And once that's done, Uh, Once that's done, you just save the pose. Okay, so that's how you change the pose. And we close that, close this, go back to Anim Starter Pack, select one, Control A, and then deselect and deselect the showcase level. Again, right click, retarget anim assets, duplicate, and again, click on this. Okay, so the pose needs to match for both of these characters, and then just select. Okay, and these are a lot of animations, so this might take a little while. Okay, now the new animations are going to end up in wherever the skeleton file for your character is. So in our case, we put it in this folder, inside Atom, inside skeleton, and here you can see all of the animations have been retargeted. So this is the reload pistol copy, and you can see it's working out fairly okay. Stand prone, fire, prone idle, shooting, walk backwards, sprint forward. Alright, just click around a few of these, make sure that everything is working. Okay, we want to bring in just a few more animations. So first we want to put these in its own folder. So Control A to select everything and make sure you don't move or accidentally delete or do something bad to the skeleton. Okay, so just deselect that, and in fact we have to make a folder first. So go into animations and can create a new folder. You can say starter anims, and again to skeleton select one, Control A, and then deselect the skeleton always. Then just drag them. Oh, okay, we need to open that and then drag them to starter anim. Move here. Okay, the reason why we're doing this is because we will be importing or creating more animations, and we don't want them to be mixed up with these animations. Again, quite a few of these animations are here, so this takes a while. Okay, now just save all just in case. Okay, now we want to bring in these basic animations as well. So let's try to get them. Right click, duplicate. Okay, again, the atom skeleton is not available. Okay, and the reason is these animations are for this character here. Okay, hero TTP. So don't get confused on this, because when we brought in the Anim Starter Pack, it had a folder called character, and this hero TTP skeletal mesh is different from the original hero TTP skeletal mesh. So we want to retarget this as well. So click on that, skeleton, retarget, humanoid rig. Okay, it needs to be saved. Skeleton, retarget. Okay, so as you can see, all of the bones get automatically filled in, so we don't have to do anything here as well. So just save the pose and make sure it's saved, and then just close that, and then close this, and we can do a save all and save selected. Okay, so now we go back to animations folder and we select everything and then try to retarget it again. And this time you can see two options available because both of these skeletons have been retargeted in the Humanoid Rig. They are both available, and as we add more characters and retarget them to the Humanoid Rig, if we do, then all of those will be available as well. So for example, you can take any of the other mixamo and pack characters or even all of them and retarget them, and they will all be available here. So we select mixamo Adam skeleton and fire that off. So again, go to the skeleton folder where the skeleton file is, and you'll see all these basic animations are available here as well. Okay, so we go to animations and create a new folder called basic. Then go back to skeleton, Control A, deselect that, Control click, and then drag them over to basic and move here. And then just take a look at it and see how it is. Now, you might notice this is a bit weird, okay? We just jump and okay, so do show retargeting options, select that hip, right click, and recursively retarget to skeleton, and then just change this to animation, and then leave the hips at animation. So that'll improve everything. Okay, so it was looking strange, now it looks okay. So you might have to experiment with that. So, but I think this looks just fine. Okay, you can always do show retargeting animation, and it was originally add animation, and you can see it's not quite getting it right. So just select to retarget, and what I typically do is I leave all of the other bones and skeleton, but if I have a root and the pelvis or the hips bone, for that I select animation or animation scale. Then well, you like I said, you will need to experiment with this. So close that and save everything. Okay, so that's it for the first video, and the next one we'll set up the anim graph. We'll actually make use of these animations. So I hope you enjoyed this, and see you till next time.